Mike with Iceberg Gaming here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my top 5 games that came out in 2023, plus a couple of honorable mentions. Now this is just like my opinion, man, and it's only based off of games that I've actually played. So if you feel like I missed something, go ahead and let me know in the comments section. But as always, just keep it respectful, and just remember, people have different opinions, man. Before we get into the actual list, I want to get the elephant in the room out of the way and give my first honorable mention to Starfield. If you asked me at the beginning of the year if Starfield would have been in my game of the year, I would have been like, hell yeah. But after playing it for a while, it's just, I just can't. There's just too many bugs, too many performance issues, and it just doesn't feel like a finished game to me. I think they should have worked on it for another couple months, got the animations working properly and everything synced up. And just make the conversations look good at least. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on, Bethesda. 2023 was an absolute banger of a year for video games, especially for RPG games. I personally can't think of a better year in gaming. We got so many great games. In my opinion, my top 3 that I'm going to give you, all 3 of them, maybe even the top 5, at least the top 4, all could have been Game of the Years if they had come out in different years, in my opinion. That being said, let's get into the list. I'm putting number 5, I'm putting Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. This is a CRPG in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It is a story-heavy game. A story-heavy Warhammer 40,000 immediate yes for me. Immediate yes. Immediate yes. Thank you very much. No way I was passing up on this one. As a huge fan of the Warhammer universe, huge fan of RPG games, huge fan of story-rich games, huge fan of games with companions, it's a no-brainer for me. It's my number 5 for the year. Coming in at number 4, we've got Hogwarts Legacy, a very good game that people have been looking forward to for a long time. Lots of people around my age loved Hogwarts growing up, and we're very happy to be able to live our Hogwarts Legacy, taking classes, etc. I really enjoyed this game for like 2 weeks, and then I kind of got bored with it, but it's unquestionably a really good RPG game, and I'm putting it in at number 4, Hogwarts Legacy. Coming in at number 3, I'm putting in Jedi Survivor. Now this is the first on the list that I definitely feel like could have been a game of the year in another year, but this year was just so jam-packed that it is dropped to number 3. Fantastic game. I personally love Star Wars, love the idea of being a Jedi, so this is definitely right up my alley. It was a fantastic RPG, great story, great combat, great exploration. My only small critique of the game is that it had Souls-like combat, which is good, but you know, as a Jedi Knight with a lightsaber, lightsabers would do more damage than a Souls-like combat shows. They would pretty much one-hit kill everything. So that's my only small critique of the game. I think the lightsabers were a little underpowered. But I guess that's for gameplay purposes, it makes sense. Before we get to number 1 and number 2, I'm going to do a couple more honorable mentions. The first is Diablo 4. I've been a fan of Blizzard forever, ever since StarCraft, Diablo 2, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. I have loved Blizzard games, so I really wanted this game to be great, and it was fun for a while, but not that long, so I couldn't justify putting on the list for this year. Maybe in another year it would make the list, but just there's too many microtransactions, it's too grindy, not really enough to do in my opinion. So it's an honorable mention for this year. Another honorable mention that I want to give is to Star Trek Infinite. This is not going to be for everyone. I know, especially with my channel, it's really not something that my channel would be interested in. It's pretty much, not exactly, but pretty close to a Star Trek skinned Stellaris. So it's a space grand strategy game. I've been really enjoying it. A lot of people are upset about it. I don't know, I think they're saying it has bugs, but I really haven't encountered any. I've been enjoying it despite what other people say. So I'm going to give it an honorable mention for the year. If I had to list it, I would probably put it around number 7 or number 8 for the year, for me personally. Now let's get into number 2 on the list for me is Baldur's Gate 3. I know, don't at me. I know this is going to make a lot of people mad. I know this is going to be the game of the year for most people. And any other year, definitely, it would have been for me as well. It's a fantastic game. I've sunk a couple, I think I've sunk 130 or so hours into it myself. So this is not a slight against Baldur's Gate 3. But I just like number 1 a little bit better for me personally, so don't get mad at me. But my personal game of the year for this year, for 2023, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Fantastic game. I've been a Zelda fan since Legend of Zelda, the original on Nintendo. This game was very similar to Breath of the Wild, but it had enough differences that I can justify putting it on the list at number 1. I sunk hundreds of hours into this game while I was recovering from my surgery last summer, so I've got to put it at my number 1. No slight to Baldur's Gate 3. Any other year, Baldur's Gate 3 would have taken the cake, but personally, for me, I got to give it to Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Game of the year, in my opinion. But those are my top 5 games for 2023. As I said, I think any other year, any of the top 3, maybe even top 4, could have been games of the year. But this year was just so stacked with so many great games that somebody had to win and somebody had to lose. So let me know in the comment section if you agree with my list. Let me know your top 5 or your top 10 or whatever. If you disagree or if you agree, go ahead and post it in the comment section. Keep in mind, this is only games that I actually played, so if you think something is missing from the list, there's a very good chance I did not play it. So go ahead and suggest it for me in the comment section, and maybe I'll have a chance to play it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
I need help, bud.